Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Stock Talk with
Welcome
Dr.
back.
E and David.
Yeah.
We are excited that you are back in the building with us. Today, we're going to talk about that crazy government shutdown and what it means for you and your portfolio.
Yes, before we get started, please know that this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All trades come with a risk, and this is not a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold.
Yes, exactly. So, let's break down the trending charts after the government shutdown, the market conditions, and whether it is a good time to buy, hold, or to. Yes, definitely. So, the market reaction. Very short term. When it comes to the trades, it was a very volatile market. The Treasury years yields, the defense stock, and the government contracts. When it comes to past shutdowns, the market usually dips briefly and then it recovers. So it's always good to have those safe havens where you have the gold, bonds, and the defense stocks.
Yeah, defense stocks and gold are two of the major ones you want to hold on to. Anything happens, defense is never going nowhere, and gold is what everything's backed by. So those are the two things that you really want to have in your back pocket.
Exactly.
So there was some of the impact on the consumers, the confidence with the government workers and the GDP being off road with the shutdown. So, anytime everybody does the furlough thing, you got to see if they're coming back to work, and, you get paid with the furlough. And say, oh, keep working, we'll pay you on the back end, but you never know how that's going to work out. And then the uncertainty in the market with Donald Trump and the 100,000 jobs. So right now we got real uncertainty on the market with the shutdown going on. And we got some sectors that are at risk with this. You got the federal contracts, of course, because it's a government shutdown. Airlines and tourism all going to be affected, and some defense spending will be affected by this.
Yes, exactly.
And then back to some of the good points that you want to hold on, like we said, the other side of the defense contract, you still want to have it in your back pocket. And then the gold is something good to hold on to. Gold and silver is something good to hold on to of value while we're in the shutdown.
Yes, exactly. So let me go ahead and show you what it looks like when it comes to government shutdown versus a crash. I don't want you guys thinking that, hey, it's about to crash. We don't know what's going on. So when it comes to a government shutdown, these are the first two little orange things. So the bar, it only went down to maybe 1.5%, 2%. And then this last shutdown, it probably went to maybe 3%. But other than that, sometimes people get mixed up with a crash. A crash, as you can see, in 2008, this was a crash. It went down almost 40%. Wild.
Financial crisis, the housing crisis, we all know that.
Yeah, then we got the COVID where it almost went down 30%, went down like 33%. So please don't get stressed out. This is not a crash. It's just the government.
Yeah, we don't find ourselves in a pandemic situation or a subprime lending loan not out of control. So exactly. Not for now. So they're kind of like getting on that track. So you need to keep your eyes on the market. But for right now, we're okay.
Yes. So here's a visual comparison of how the stock market performs during government shutdowns versus how it recovers 3 to 6 months afterwards. As you can see, normally when a government shutdown, it usually goes down. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out of 8 bars, half the time it goes down, and the other half the time it actually goes up. So the lowest has been 4% comparison to the highest, almost like 1.5%. And then after it does shut down, the orange line is 3 months afterwards. So let's say even in 2018, when it shut down last time, after 3 months, it was still it has already rose 10%. And then when it comes to the 6 month, which is the blue line, it had already rose up to 14%. So that's absolutely amazing. That hey, this government shutdown is not going to be, the end all be all. It's not going to be a huge issue, and that you can continue to chart and do things as normal. Of course, take advantage of the shutdown if you can. If you know how to read a chart good enough, get your puts ready or get your calls ready, just so you can be on the forefront of what's going on.
Yeah, so let's take a look. At these charts and see what they're doing right now. Some of these charts.
Yes.
What we got going on here?
Let's talk about it. So the first chart actually, when it came to government contracts, a good chart for us to look at was MU. MU. I'm sorry, I call them MU behind its back, but it's definitely called Micron Technology. Yes, Micron Technologies. Once you take looking at their stock, it's always good to, if it's not making sense, because they are at all-time highs. So if it's not making sense on a daily chart and you can't pinpoint, hey, let me put a trend line, or hey, let me turn on my Bollinger Bands. If it's not making any sense, then on like the daily chart, you need to break it down to smaller charts, okay? So let's say even the 4-hour. The 4-hour, it may look better for you to go ahead and take a trend line. Hey, I want to go from April the 5th. I think I can get something from there and pull it across to see where they are trying to go. Because looking at the daily chart or sometimes the weekly chart, it's just not there. All right. So looking here. All right, I get that line right. All right, so looking here, you can see that they'll most likely go up. On the 4-hour chart, it's around 194. If they did hit it out the books tomorrow, and then if you break it down to further charts and maybe even the 1-hour to see what's going on, you can definitely say, hey, just based on this chart, let me make sure my line is right. Indicators as well, because you're definitely going to need more than one indicator other than your trend line. So you should definitely throw on some Bollinger Bands to help you. And as you can see, the Bollinger Band actually stops where the trend line is. So it's just an additional confirmation that, hey, I'm going in the right direction when it comes to trying to understand where this chart is trying to go.
And then also take in consideration that they went up because they cut a deal with OpenAI on a Stargate project. So with that massive deal that they got, Samsung is in on it too. That they go up now and it's good profitable, but everything goes up has to come down. You know what I mean? This is because money's been influxed into the system. See, it might, like they always say, it has to correct itself. So at some point, you don't want to get too caught up in it. You want to make sure that you're protecting yourself on the other side, setting your stop losses and stuff to get you out of the market in case it starts turning the other way. Because once again, like you said, it's at all-time highs. So we gotta, and then we're still in that government shutdown, so you never know what's going to lead to being next. But yeah, that's just something to let you know. Yes. So always try your best to look at what is trending for the topics, but definitely understand how you check a chart. Checking a chart will help save your life. So because if you happen to see that information late and then you jump in and you didn't check your chart, ooh, yeah, it may be an issue. Right, and just keep in mind too that anything dealing with OpenAI right now is really hot. So you want to look out for those type of stocks that deal in AI, OpenAI, Meta, Facebook, Microsoft, all of those AI type companies. Nvidia. Yeah, you got to keep your eye on those because those are where some of these contracts or they're merging together with some of these people to make bigger contracts. So and make the stock not just to make the stock rise, but that's what's making some of these stocks rise. Is the merger of these people working together for the sake of AI. Yes, exactly. So let's go ahead and take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia is doing a great job of just walking up. Walking up right now. I'm on a daily chart. Let's go to the weekly real quick. So on the weekly chart, I have my trend line going from June. It hit this trend line again in August. And it seems as if it will hit it again very soon. It's almost there. Has already turned around. So at least because I know everybody loves Nvidia. Who doesn't? Right. Right. Who does not? So obviously it has surpassed this high, and they're all-time highs as well. 184.
So having the Bollinger Bands up, as well as looking at the trend line, you definitely want to just be cautious of Nvidia.
Especially when you see that they have gaps. When you see anything with gaps in it, just always be mindful that gaps have to fill at some point.
Yeah.
It might not fill now, but all gaps are filled. So you want to keep your eye on where the gaps are in these charts, where it could possibly fall back down to, and what are good levels to get back in. Like say it does fall, what would you want to get back into to buy? You know.
So a good area. Just looking at here is a gap on. Here's some daily charts. So there's a gap right here from 180.63 to 179.39. That will be a good area to buy in. Why? Because you got to consider when it comes to gaps, a company with a whole bunch of people bought in all at once, and it was so much power, it just exploded up, right? It just exploded up. So then when it's time to come back down to that area, you got to know and realize that, hey, there's a lot of buyers here. Last time it came here, it flew up. So after it does come back down towards this area, it's going to have a hard time covering. So it may be opportunity to go ahead and continue to push up, or it may get enough power if it doesn't do it the first time or the second time, the third time to be able to come back down here, which is actually a really good buy area as well, 168.59, to go ahead and jump into the stock if you're not already inside of it. Yeah. But if this area is as strong as I'm thinking that it is, then it should definitely walk its way up. Definitely by Christmas it should be at $200.44. But definitely, nevertheless, just remember it's not just a straight up. It's not just there's gonna be ups and downs. Make sure you're able to read the chart.
And Nvidia is another one of those companies in the open AI with their chips. Yeah. And then in the AI market, and they're merging with people, so just be mindful of that, because when mergers comes, it comes to skyrocket, but then once again it comes to pullback. So just be mindful.
And one thing you guys also got to consider is that a lot of times the reason why these stocks actually went down, especially earlier this morning, was because everybody was running scared. So since they were running scared, because they didn't know what was going to happen, which is fully understandable, I'm trying to get down to it. Sheesh. Okay. So you can tell right here, it opened up at 186.11. It came all the way down to 183.90, 89. And if you didn't know any better, you would assume that, hey, it's about to keep on falling. One chart I like to look at is the 15-minute chart. Okay, one chart I like to look at is the 15-minute chart. So as you can see, when it did come down this morning, it decided to stop right here. This is a good resistance area, these line of bars. You see this is a very famous formation right here that people like to utilize. So please remember that once it hit here, especially this wick, wicks have a lot of power. Once it hit this wick, it definitely refused this area and went ahead and went back up. So you definitely have to just keep in mind and make sure you watch the stock very carefully and say, hey, there's a lot of buying power right here. I know it's not going to just drop off the face of the earth. It doesn't matter what came out of, anybody's mouth. The chart will do what it's supposed to do. So since this was a significant buying area over here, and I'm sure on other days as well. Also, here was a stop area. So not only did it have a good wick to push up, it also couldn't get past this area of resistance. So since it couldn't get past here, it decided to go ahead and push up, because it's not going to push past a whole day, or at least half a day, a good half a day worth of work, plus yesterday and what happened then. So of course it's going to continue to push its way up, and do what it did today. So yeah, and Nvidia wasn't the only one, and they're definitely on their way, as we said, to a good 200 at least by at least by December. If it keeps on following that trend line, if it does decide to, push through and create another trend line, then just make sure you guys are being cautious of it and make sure you just reading the chart. Just check the chart. Please check the chart.
At all times. What does
At
the
all
chart say?
times. Yes.
Whenever you're in doubt, just chart and what does the chart say?
Yes.
Gotta get everything together.
The next one we're gonna do is Sofi, and this is Sofi, amazing stock. You gotta love Sofi. As you can see, my line is already there. But Sofi,
they took a major dip today.
They did.
They went up strong at first. They had a real strong push, and then it elapsed back down.
Yes, it did. It hit this line of resistance. Resistance right here. That's why it stopped. 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. That's 4 days. 4 days of the stock market just having a hard time pushing through those 4 days. If it finally decides to come further through, the next area will be this one right here. So, which will be at the trend line as well. So this would be a great time to buy a call. If you guys want to buy a call on Sofi at $22.90, 91 cent, 90 whatever cents, or whatever your trend line says, about time it does hit it.
Right.
But please make sure you're looking at your formations, look at resistance areas that it can't get through. It may have a hard time getting past these 4 days, and it may decide to go ahead and go up after this. So it's totally up to you on how you decide. Just make sure you keep a close eye on the stock market. Look at any gaps that are there that are trying to fill, or any gaps that are there, and you know that, hey, it flew up, it was a buyer's gap. That means, guess what? It's going to have a hard time filling. It's going to be a good spot for me to do a short play or a long play or whatever it is.
Right.
But yeah, so those are the 3 that we are going to review today. And we really hope that you guys learned a lot in regards to, hey, the government shutdowns, how it actually affects the stock market, and what you guys can do better, next time. Just take the time to journal. Get your journal.
Get your journal. Don't forget your journal. We got one for you. Yes. We got one for you.
The link is below. And definitely just, consider this journey and keep on just taking appreciation of, hey, I'm constantly learning. I'm moving inside the direction that I need to go.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly growing. And if you need someone to grow with, please feel free to join our community.
Please.
Our stock community, we have like-minded people inside there who is happy and willing to go the extra mile and willing to generational financial freedom. So yeah, but until next time, appreciate you guys clicking on.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.
Yes, keep trading.
Hey you guys, we really hope you enjoyed that last episode.
And if you're really ready to keep transforming, go ahead and jump into that next lab episode. The one right here. Down here, the link right here.
It's probably over here.
Or there, or here. Link, click. Go ahead. You got it.